Okay, so let's get right into this. A huge Hollywood legal battle has just taken another absolutely shocking turn, and we're going to break down exactly what this latest twist means for everybody involved.
Just when it seemed like this whole drama was finally winding down, a brand new court filing just dropped, and it signals the complete opposite. This fight isn't over. In fact, it's about to get even bigger.
So how in the world did we get back here? Let's take a look at the breaking news that is throwing gasoline on the fire of this high-stakes conflict.
And there it is. That's the headline. The defamation lawsuit that was thrown out of court is officially coming back. Baldoni's team is not letting this go. They are taking their fight to a higher court, and they're trying to bring the entire case back from the dead.
Now, to really get why this appeal is such a massive deal, first we have to understand why the original case was dismissed. And here's the really wild part. It had nothing to do with the evidence.
Right. So the judge never said, hey, Baldoni's claims are weak or his evidence isn't good enough. Nope. The entire case got tossed out because of a very specific legal rule, a technicality that basically stopped the lawsuit in its tracks before it could even get going. And this is that law. It's called an anti-SLAPP law. So what does that actually mean? Well, the judge essentially ruled that since Blake Lively had already sued Baldoni, he couldn't just turn around and sue her back in retaliation. The whole point of this law is to stop people from using the court system to try and intimidate or silence their opponents.
Okay, so if that's the rule that got the case thrown out, how are they fighting it? Well, that brings us to the pretty clever legal strategy Baldoni's team is using to challenge that ruling.
So check this out. This is how they played it. When the judge dismissed most of the case, he kind of left the door cracked open for them to fix a few really small, minor things. But Baldoni's team said, no thank you. See, by refusing to fix those little parts, they kept their right to appeal the entire dismissal. It was a really calculated risk.
And that move tells you everything you need to know about their goal. They're not interested in winning some small victory on a minor point. Nope, this is an all-or-nothing strategy. They're going to a higher court and saying, the first judge was just plain wrong to use that anti-SLAPP law, and our entire defamation case deserves to be heard.
A decision like this, it doesn't just happen in a legal bubble. It dramatically raises the stakes. I mean, financially and personally, for every single high-profile person tangled up in this fight. I mean, just look at the pressure on both sides here. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, this means more and more legal fees that are just skyrocketing and a public relations battle that will not end, which could totally disrupt their careers. But for Justin Baldoni's side, which is funded by a billionaire, this is their chance to get their evidence in front of a court. It seems like they feel they've already been through the worst of it, so now they have nothing left to lose by fighting back.
And let's not forget the media giant that's right in the middle of all this. The New York Times was one of the main targets in Baldoni's original lawsuit. And guess what? This appeal yanks them right back into the legal crossfire.
So where does this all go from here? Well, this latest move kicks off a whole new chapter that could stretch this conflict out for months, maybe even years.
This timeline really just lays out how long this could be. The lawsuit was dismissed way back in May. We are right here at the now point where the appeal has just been filed. The next phase is that court review, which could take anywhere from 3 to 9 months. And if that appeal is successful, you can see where that arrow leads, right back to square one, with the entire original lawsuit reopened.
And if that happens, what does that mean? Well, if they win this appeal, it's a completely new ballgame. The discovery phase would kick off all over again, which means both sides could demand more private information. We're talking texts, emails, internal documents. This could make even more private details public, and it could potentially drag Ryan Reynolds, who's kind of been on the edge of this, much deeper into the whole mess.
Which really leaves us with this one big, crucial question. This whole thing has moved way beyond a simple legal dispute. It is a public war, with careers and reputations hanging in the balance. When all the money is spent and all the headlines are written, is there any way for anyone to actually truly win? What does a victory even look like at this point?